Mom loved movies. She took us kids on the bus to the King Theater in downtown Honolulu, or we walked to one of two neighborhood theaters. Whenever she left the house, she wore makeup, a dress, and matching shoes and purse. Every week, she went to the beauty parlor for a wash and set. Her shiny black hair was permed with a side part, finger waves, and soft curls in a style popular in the 1950s. Looking her best was important, and she made sure our hair was combed and our clothes clean and pressed, just to go to the movies. We went to see Disney movies like Snow White, Cinderella, or Pinocchio. Sometimes Mom took us to movies she wanted to see that were adult stories because she could not leave us alone at home. We liked stepping into the cool air-conditioned theater and being greeted by the smell of fresh popcorn. We quietly enjoyed our candy and my favorite ice cream bonbons as the newsreel and cartoons flickered on the screen, and then the feature film. Mom especially liked films with Asian characters, which were scarce back in the 1950s and often played by white actors. The King and I, The World of Susie Wong, and Love is a Many-Splendored Thing. Years later, she never tired of watching The Good Earth on television. When we saw Carousel, the heart-rending songs If I Loved You and You'll Never Walk Alone made a lasting impression on me. I must have been 6 or 7 at the time. Love is a Many-Splendored Thing is a soaring love song, but here again, romance and tragedy are linked. Why was my mother drawn to such sad movies? By all appearances, she had married well, had a nice home, and healthy children. As an adult, I believe movies offered her catharsis from life's troubles. Dad had been difficult to live with. 20 years her senior, he assumed the traditional Chinese role of father and husband. Total control, total authority. Mom's role was to be subservient to him and produce sons, which she did, 4 of them, and 3 daughters. Mom didn't always agree with Dad. Still, she would never openly oppose him. Dad's sisters did not welcome his young wife into the family. They criticized her and disrespected her. Was it because she had been an employee at her husband's store? Or because they knew her family was poor and from a different class? It's true, her parents were poor. With 4 children already, they could not feed another mouth, especially a girl's. And so my grandfather decided to give this baby to another Chinese couple who desperately wanted a child. The names of these parents appear on Mom's birth certificate, indicating this happened within days, maybe hours after her birth. My mother's adopted parents were kind people and treasured her. She was aware that she had 2 sets of parents. I imagine her internal feelings were complicated. Perhaps movies touched the secrets in my mother's heart, the ones she did not allow herself to think about or feel except in the context of stories on the screen, in the dark privacy of a movie theater. Mom died unexpectedly in 1998. At the funeral, she lay in her casket, looking lovely, like she was sleeping in peace. But no, she was really gone. She would have been pleased about her appearance. I thought about her black hair and how she didn't gray, even into her 60s. My sister informed me she had been dyeing her hair for years. After the funeral, I returned to Seattle. Before leaving, I'd sold my condo, moved into a house with a new roommate, and then headed to the airport. On my return, I felt disoriented and emotionally wrecked. I just wanted to stay in bed. I couldn't tell my closest friends what I was feeling. I had regressed into a pre-verbal state. The loss of my mother felt primal, cellular, deep into the bone. With no parents, I was an orphan, set adrift and alone in the cosmos. I would be sitting at work in the middle of some task, and suddenly tears blurred my vision and waves of sadness gripped me. I was single, had recently transitioned into menopause, had suddenly lost my mother, and was living in a strange house. The losses kept coming. After work, I found myself seeking refuge at the movies. Several times a week, I paid $3 at a neighborhood second-run movie theater with 5 screens. Just me and my popcorn. Immersed into someone else's drama, I forgot my ongoing grief for a few hours, content to sit in this dark, solitary, womb-like environment. My mother loved the movies. I was seeking to feel her near me again. Thank you.